She is an advocate, storyteller, co-founder of Grow House Media, and the host of Feminized Podcast, where she interviews some of the dopest women in the game. And I'd like to personally congratulate her because I didn't get to do this last week. When it was reported that she held a very successful South by Southwest workshop on windowsill booth cultivation in her hometown of Austin, Texas. Big congrats to you on that. But here to drop a little ATX knowledge on everybody. Y'all know who it is, Liz Grow.
Oh, God, thank you for that, Rico. Wow. Guys, my story today is a really, really interesting one. It's about psychedelic therapy, and it comes from the Green Market Report. And the psychedelic therapy industry reels after major clinic closures. And the high level is that a lot of money was put into psychedelic therapy as being the next wave of plant medicine. And a lot of people are jumping on that bandwagon and putting a lot of money in. And it's not really panning out in the way that they thought it would. Okay, one of the major quotes from the article is so it's the Ketamine Wellness Centers is the center that's closing, and it's that the Ketamine Wellness Centers collapse could serve as a cautionary tale that the clinical model might not be ready to meet the expectations of not only investors, but of patients too, you guys. So it's not just that they're not able to, I guess, see a return on their investment, but patients aren't seeing the return on their investment as they thought. So let me just go over the finer points of this. Is it's grown rapidly, with the loosening of legal restrictions and growing investor interest. But the closure of the ketamine wellness centers and other psychedelic treatment centers shows that the industry may be in need of a new vision and business model. It highlights the challenges of the clinical model, which includes reliance on external funding and pressure to expand quickly, regulatory uncertainty, and high costs for patients. So if you guys have felt like the industry, psychedelics industry, has been moving like lightning fast, it has. It really, really has. And that's not to say that there isn't something there. I don't want to come across as if it doesn't sound like I support it. I have been interested in psychedelics for a very long time from a probably more of an academic perspective than like taking them myself. And recently I've started down that journey. I'd say recently around the last 3, 4, 5 years. So anyway, it's just really, really interesting because you hear about them being, the next coming of Christ. But then you also, you see holes, in the model. You see so many people saying that this is such a great thing. It's like, wait a minute, if everybody thinks this is such a great thing, that's kind of weird. There's got to be something that's not great about it. I mean, it does feel like there's a rush to the market here. So there is a company called Field Trip, and they had a closure of their facilities across the country. And there was also a shutdown of Oregon's Synthesis Institute. Right. So this also, it shows that the challenges aren't limited to just ketamine clinics, but, all sorts of kind of psychedelic endeavors. And what's funny is one of the companies that's kind of going under is a company called Delic, Delic. And the executive chairman is Matt Stang, who was the former Chief Revenue Officer of High Times. So I thought that was really interesting. But anyway, you guys, I highly recommend you reading more in Green Market Report about the closure of these psychedelic therapy clinics across the country and, get a better picture of, I think, maybe where things really are with psychedelic therapy in general. Because the most important thing is that patients aren't led down a path that they themselves can't come back from. There are story after story about patients who have been truly damaged by psychedelic therapies, mostly the clinicians taking advantage, but the stories are out there and we just can't deny it. And so I feel like obviously the money is going to tell a story as well. So this is Liz Grow reporting from deep in the heart of Texas for Live at 9 News. I'd love to hear what you guys think.